Welcome back to Tales by the Fire. Tonight's tale is about a man plagued with insomnia and the strange things he sees when no one else is around. It was midnight when Joseph awoke from a horrible nightmare. Not that he could remember it. Joseph's sleep had been bad for a few weeks now. What he thought was just a bout of insomnia had been an inconvenient habit. Every night at exactly midnight, Joseph awoke. Joseph was always groggy at the start, but something seemed worse tonight. The world spun as he walked to his kitchen, only settling down as he sat down at his kitchen table, cup of water in hand. No medicine had helped before, and now Joseph was too nervous to stand again. All he could do now is what he did every night, stare out the window. The nights were always dark, only illuminated by the lights inside Joseph's house. This was Joseph's excuse for almost missing the small creature running into the woods. He only saw it for a second, but it stuck out to him as odd. He'd seen many creatures run in and out of the woods, to the point where he could identify what they were by sound alone. Yet, for the first time in a long time, he didn't know what this creature was. All he could tell is that it was small and fast, and coming from his home. Joseph's head pounded as he tried to figure out what it could have possibly been. A raccoon, squirrel, no, those were too small. He would have dismissed it if he hadn't have heard a large bang coming from his living room. Joseph quickly stood and just as quickly collapsed. His headache was getting progressively worse. He tried to get up, but couldn't, any strength in his body disappearing. All he could do is stare into the doorway, helpless. And then the murmuring started. Little voices, high-pitched, speaking in a tongue undistinguishable. These weren't raccoons, but something else. Joseph needed to know. He tried to get up, pushing himself to move. He told every muscle in his body to react, to do something, anything. It was as if the adrenaline had only gone to his head, not at all helping with the headache. The more he tried, the more his vision started to go. The house became a blur. The usually recognizable iconography became nothing more than smudges. It was then they came into view. Nothing more than two silver blobs, no taller than a large dog, silver in color, with large green eyes, if they were eyes at all. Joseph doubled his efforts to move as the creatures approached, tripled as they grabbed him by the legs and began to drag him off. His sight left him as he passed through the living room. The last thing Joseph saw was the opening of his front door. It was then he stopped struggling. Hitting the dirt outside his house felt strangely familiar, and the futility of his struggle was finally setting in. Or was this something more? Something familiar? The strange words muttered by the creatures began to sound like a lullaby, replacing his fear with an uncomfortable peace. Joseph began to wonder how many times they'd done this. Every night? Every few nights? How many times would they forget the little silver men that would take him away? His thoughts calmed, and Joseph faded back to sleep. Joseph awoke the next night at precisely midnight. He got up, went to his kitchen, poured himself some water, and sat watching the woods. It was routine, an unconscious habit, one that would continue for many months. Joseph never knew why he awoke or what caused the odd insomnia or the hazy memories each evening, but he was always thankful for the mornings when his peace was restored. Thank you for joining us tonight for Tales by the Fire. Hope to see you all again next week. Hey, where'd you guys find this notebook? In the woods? Isn't that a little bit dangerous?